Jaxon Veil. The air in the observatory tasted of ozone and regret. Not my regret, precisely. More a lingering echo of centuries spent watching. I, Jaxon Dusk, though most knew me as Veil, adjusted the focusing array of the celestial scanner. Another night, another vigil. My task was simple, brutally so. To ensure the veil, the shimmering, almost invisible boundary between our world and the ether, remained intact. It wasn't glamorous work. More like being a cosmic janitor, sweeping up stray energies and patching tears in reality. The scent of lavender from Old Man Tiber's garden below drifted up, a small comfort in the vast loneliness. Tonight, like most nights, felt ordinary. Quiet. Too quiet. The anomaly registered as a flicker, a distortion in the background radiation I hadn't seen in decades. It wasn't a tear, not yet. More like a bruise, forming on the fabric of reality. The reading spiked, concentrated near the old Blackwood estate, abandoned since the incident. Old Man Tiber dismissed it as geomagnetic interference, but I knew better. The ether didn't bruise without a reason. A reason that usually involved someone poking around where they shouldn't. This was it. The call. Something was trying to cross over, or worse, someone was trying to pull it through. Damn it. This was precisely what I'd spent the last 50 years avoiding. Involvement. Intervention. A quiet life tending the boundaries was a good life. A safe life. But the readings were escalating. Ignoring it wasn't an option, not anymore. The thought of confronting whatever was stirring in Blackwood Manor filled me with a leaden dread. I'd seen what happened when the veil weakened, the chaos, the things. Still, a part of me, a reckless, long-dormant part, felt a flicker of something akin to anticipation. But it was mostly dread. Old Man Tiber, despite his gruff exterior and insistence on the superiority of root vegetables, wasn't just a gardener. He was a watcher, like me, though he preferred tending blossoms to battling spectral incursions. He met me in the observatory, his hands smelling of soil and something older, something primordial. "Blackwood, eh?" he said, his voice a low rumble. "Been expecting something like this. Foolish mortals, always digging where they shouldn't." He handed me a tarnished silver locket, cool to the touch. "Your grandmother's. Holds a resonance that will shield you. And take this." He pressed a vial of luminescent fluid into my hand. "Ethereal dew. Disrupts the energies of the other side. Use sparingly." The Blackwood estate loomed against the bruised twilight, a skeletal silhouette against the dying light. The air tasted metallic, charged with an unnatural energy. I activated the locket, feeling a warmth spread through my chest, a shield against the encroaching darkness. Stepping onto the overgrown grounds felt like crossing an invisible threshold. The ordinary world receded behind me, replaced by a distorted reality, a half-seen landscape of shadows and whispers. There was no turning back now. I was committed. The mansion's interior was a labyrinth of dust and decay. I encountered spectral echoes of the Blackwood family, lingering remnants of their tragic history. And then there were the guardians, twisted, shadowy creatures drawn from the ether, protecting something. I fought them off with the ethereal dew, the luminescent fluid burning away their spectral forms. But they kept coming, relentless and unnerving. Then I met Ilara, a young historian researching the Blackwood family, completely unaware of the true nature of her investigation. She was a liability, but also, potentially an ally. And then there was Silas Blackwood, or what was left of him, a spectral figure obsessed with opening a permanent gateway to the ether. The source of the disturbance lay in the mansion's basement, in a hidden chamber beneath the old library. Silas Blackwood had constructed a device, a grotesque amalgamation of arcane technology and stolen artifacts, designed to tear a hole in the veil. The chamber pulsed with dark energy, the air thick with the stench of decay and desperation. I could feel the veil straining, weakening with every passing moment. Silas, now almost entirely consumed by the ether, was close to succeeding. I had to stop him, but the chamber was protected by layers of spectral defenses, and Silas himself had become a formidable opponent. The confrontation with Silas was a maelstrom of energy and spectral force. He hurled bolts of ethereal energy, while I deflected them with the locket and countered with bursts of ethereal dew. It wasn't a physical fight, not really. It was a battle of wills, a struggle to control the flow of energy between worlds. I used the knowledge passed down from generations of watchers, weaving spells and incantations to disrupt his control over the device. Finally, channeling all my energy into a single, focus blast, I shattered the device, severing Silas's connection to the ether. He screamed, a sound that echoed through the crumbling mansion, and then vanished. Amidst the wreckage of the device, I found it, a small, silver key, radiating a faint, ethereal glow. Old Man Tiber had mentioned it, a relic known as the ethereal lock. It was the key to reinforcing the veil, to sealing the breaches and restoring the balance between worlds. It wasn't a weapon, not exactly. It was a tool, a conduit for channeling the energies of the ether. But it was more than that. It was a symbol, a testament to the enduring power of the Watchers. Reinforcing the veil wasn't a simple task. It required a delicate balance of energy and precision, a careful calibration of the ethereal lock. And it had consequences. The surge of energy disrupted the local reality, causing strange occurrences, temporal distortions, phantom images, unsettling whispers. The townsfolk were disturbed, frightened. I had saved the world, perhaps, but at what cost? Ilara, shaken but determined, began documenting the strange events, her research becoming increasingly focused on the nature of the ether. But the disruption had attracted attention. Not from this world. A powerful entity, drawn from the depths of the ether, manifested near the Blackwood estate, a creature of pure energy, intent on exploiting the weakened veil. It was unlike anything I had ever encountered, a being of unimaginable power. The final confrontation was a desperate struggle, a clash of wills that threatened to tear the fabric of reality apart. I channeled all my energy into the ethereal lock, using it to amplify my own power and create a shield against the creature's attacks. With a final, desperate surge of energy, I banished the creature back to the ether, sealing the veil once and for all. The world returned to normal, or as normal as it ever was. The townsfolk gradually forgot the strange events, attributing them to dreams or imagination. I returned to the observatory, weary but satisfied. The lavender from Old Man Tiber's garden smelled sweeter than ever. I was still Veil, the guardian of the boundary, and my vigil would continue. But now, I had something more, a renewed sense of purpose, and the knowledge that even in the darkest of times, hope could endure. And perhaps, a friend in Ilara, ready to unravel the mysteries of the ether.